evidently, when they leave university, when they get their degree, if they earn over 35,000 or something, they've got to pay the debt back. Where to keep their figure lower, they don't pay it back. So there's no ambition. It's a bit like it's all old hat now, and universities are only interested in putting bums on seats. They're a business. If the government weren't involved, they'd be out of business. They'd actually be in prison because they're deceiving people. They're misleading them, telling them you're going to get all these wonderful jobs. You're going to earn lots more money. As an apprentice, you will earn a lot more money than someone with a degree. I think it's about 52,000 a year extra you're supposed to earn over a lifetime if you do an apprenticeship. The other thing is, which is stupid, you've got these university students now that are they're doing these courses and degrees, bearing in mind that they're telling us that, in 10 years' time, AI would have taken over, so they won't have a job anyhow. So what are they training for now for something that ain't even going to be around in 10 years? It's just misleading.
That's a very interesting question. That's a very interesting point that you make there, Charlie, that the fact that a lot of people who are getting graduate level jobs, I think of lawyers in this, could be facing some pretty tough times with the advent of AI. Are you encouraged by the government potentially going to announce this week that 600 million extra is going to be spent on work placements and apprenticeships? Do you think it's high time now that the government took more action? We had the apprenticeship levy, but it didn't really bear the fruit that we thought it was going to.
Well, look, it's a good thing to hear, but it's a crazy thing. I mean, I think Rachel Reeves come out with that on the telly today. And to spend 600 mil to trying to get people into becoming bricklayers, I mean, why don't they just, wake up and do a government-funded apprenticeship scheme, i.e., you leave school, you either got a job, apprenticeship, fully funded by the government, or you go into university. They will save a fortune. They haven't got to spend 600 mil. All they've got to do is introduce proper apprenticeships, and it gives a variation: plumbers, electricians, bricklayers, carpenters, across the board to get them into the workplace. So she's not doing nothing clever. I mean, she's not clever enough to do anything clever. She's just like chucking out figures, but she's wasting 600 mil. I mean, cut the story short, get someone who knows about apprentices to work for the government, and bring out a government-funded apprenticeship scheme. Stop giving people, money or university benefits and or whatever they call it, benefit money to sit at home and watch the TV or Netflix. Give the money to an employer who will then pay the employee more money, double the apprenticeship fee, and the problem's solved. It's so simple. The problem we have is you've got, I don't want to call them stupid, but these idiots in government that have gone to university and are coming up with these crazy ideas. I mean, people say to me, I've got 4 children, all grown up, all I've been in the business, I've got their own business now. And people say to me, did you ever think about sending your children to university? Well, the answer is no. They're too clever to go to university. They're not that stupid. They know that go out in the workplace, get a good job, you'll never be out of work, you'll earn loads of money, and you'll never be in debt.
Why do you think, Charlie, that back in 1999, when Blair talked about this aspiration of getting 50% of people to go to university, it was very much framed as university is the preserve of the wealthy classes. There was a bit of snobbery around it, and he wanted to make this much more egalitarian so that people from any background, irrespective of wealth or social class, could aspire to go to university. Was that in principle a bad thing?
Well, no, it's just window dressing, isn't it? I mean, let's not, we don't think Blair was a great prime minister. Why are we talking about him 10 years down the line with a stupid idea he'd come up? His son's got more sense than him. His son's gone the other way.
That is true, yes.
His son's now getting people into apprentices, making a fortune out of doing it. So, his dad's old hat. He was never that he was never the sharpest knife in the drawer anyhow. What he was doing was just winning votes off of people. Times have changed now. We need to move on, come away from this nonsense of running up the debt, having a 3-year, not whatever you call it, drink up university, coming away with a Mickey Mouse degree. It's just pointless. I mean, get a proper apprenticeship, be earning while you're learning, and don't buy into this nonsense no more. Universities, I think they're cutting back 10,000 staff or something. There's a reason why they're cutting them back. It's because people are not buying into it no more. All they want is bums on seats. If they was a proper business, they would be bankrupt. And to be honest, they should be prosecuted for deceiving people, taking money off them, telling them you're going to get this wonderful job. Let me just add this before I get all the nuisances and pests and all the attackers onto me. If you've got to go to university, scientist, doctor, maybe something big in finance and various other things, please go to university, and I hope you do very well. But I would say 80% of university courses are a waste of time. You don't need it in media no more. You don't need it in many things. I mean, it's just more obvious now. If you've got Rachel Reeves talking about spending 600 mil on getting bricklayers into learning bricklaying, then it's fairly obvious the way we're going. And, all these clever sods keep saying about AI. Well, stop telling people to go to university then if they're not going to have a job in 10 years' time.
Charlie, let me ask you this finally. Do you think that getting an apprenticeship should have the same social status as going to university? I mean, maybe you think it already does have the same social status, but do you think that there's an issue around it? Yes.
Yeah, look, in my world, it's got a better status.
Yes.
You can take an apprenticeship apprenticeship qualifications anywhere in the world and get a job. No different than a degree, but it carries a lot more weight today. I mean, I have a granddaughter, Sadie, just been offered an apprenticeship with Tony and Guy, the hairdressers. She's over the moon about it, and there's been no favours called. She's put herself out and got it, and that's what we need to do is get. There's thousands and thousands of youngsters that are screaming out to get an apprenticeship. And all the government has to do is do a government-funded apprenticeship scheme and give youngsters a future and stop misleading them onto this university nonsense. I mean, they're crooks in suits, the people in university. I mean, they're robbing the public left, right, and centre. And and then the youngster or the university chap that leaves there, or woman, if she earns more than 35 grand, she's got to pay the debt back. If they don't earn more than that, they don't pay it back. So there's no ambition.